Hi there, folks. Man, we're glad you found us. My name is Daron Sutton, and this is the only streaming show devoted to our favorite sport, college baseball. This is Perfect Game College Baseball, and we've got a unique show for you this week. My co-host, Hunter Pence, and the man we're speaking with, Payton Chatagnier. Payton Chatagnier, the second baseman and a talented player for Ole Miss, a young man who came up as an athlete through Hunter Pence Baseball Academy. Not just part of it, but all of his journey outside of his high school game was there. Chatagnier's done so many big things for his team, the junior. His team's won 7 in a row as we record this. He is red hot, been on base 2 times a game during that 7-game winning streak. That's our conversation, Hunter. Really excited, by the way, for Payton and you to have a quick conversation. Excited to have Payton Chatagnier as our guest today.
Well, honestly, I think a lot of the spotlight comes on to Payton and his work and efforts, and we couldn't be more proud and excited to follow his career. But this is a kid that is all heart. He just is a great teammate, and this is a big reason why I got to shine so much light on Sean Danielson and the work that he does for Hunter Pence. He's the helm. We passed it on to him, as we left Houston, and for as far as like playing with the Astros, and I wasn't around as much except the offseason. But Sean just cares about these kids, loves these kids, and Payton is just the embodiment of heart, hustle, and everything that we want to be on a baseball field.
All right, when we come back, the young man from Cypress, Texas, Cy-Fair High School in Texas, and Ole Miss. It's Payton Chatagnier, my co-host Hunter Pence, and I. Glad you found us. This is Perfect Game College Baseball. Here we go. Ole Miss. I mean, look, when I was a baby, I got to call games there back in the late 90s. The whole conference is such a destination. Every ballpark is a wonderful baseball party, but Ole Miss is about as good as it gets. And the man who plays in the middle of the infield for them, in the middle of they hope a run to Omaha, another run to Omaha, is Payton Chatagnier. And what kind of excites me about having Payton on is that he also did almost all of his journey as an amateur before college through Hunter Pence Baseball. So we pull those two things together. Payton, thanks for spending time with us. We really appreciate it.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you guys for having me. I'm excited.
Hunter and I were just talking before we came on about, things that were optimistic in life, about approaches, honestly about hitting and love. We managed to talk about both those things. But you love hitting when you are succeeding. Your last 7 games, just taking a quick peek, I see 10 hits, I see 4 walks, I see 14 times on base in your last 7 games. Let me hang out with you in those last 7 games. Tell me a little bit about what's going well.
Yeah, so I think in order to talk about the last couple games, we had to bring it back a little bit before that to a point where I was really struggling, to be honest with you. It was a long stretch where I wasn't doing well. And luckily I have a really, really good hitting coach, and he sat me down and we worked on a couple of things. And I don't need to dive too deep into it, but he helped me fix my swing a ton and get me where I'm comfortable in the box. I think that's the biggest thing with hitting, at least the way I look at it, is there's no cookie-cut way to teach hitting, and everybody has crazy swings, and I look goofy up there swinging, but it's whatever can get you the most comfortable, and he's really helped me out with that. So I feel good up there.
Payton, we are about the deep dive. This is what we love to study. You got to give us a little bit more than that. What are some things that, because a lot of the people listening to this, are young hitters or, parents trying to teach kids, and you could help someone by taking us through your adjustment, because baseball is adjustments, and it's what have you done for me lately? So please dive a little deeper, Payton.
My biggest thing, and one of the things that I have, I think I do pretty well with, is being able to attack the fastball. And if you look back whenever I was struggling, I've always had a problem with hitting the off-speed pitches, but I was getting beat by fastballs, which isn't really my game. So if I could correct that the best I could, I think that would help out with everything. If you're on time for the fastball, you're able to hit the off-speed pitch and everything like that. So what had happened was we were hitting one day on an off day or something like that. I can't remember, but Coach Clem, our hitting coach, pulled up a picture of me when he paused it, where basically I was at my furthest point back in my load. So right before I'm actually about to attack the ball, right? He froze it, and then he put it side by side, another great hitter in the SEC, in the same point of where he was the furthest, back in his load. And we looked at it side by side, and for my picture, the ball is basically already where I should be swinging. It's like almost to the plate. And for the other kid, the ball was barely out of the pitcher's hand. So I was having a trouble with getting, I don't want to say loading necessarily, but just getting my hands back far enough to where I should be attacking the ball to swing. And what that was kind of forcing me to do was kind of cut myself off and swing a different way than I normally would. So the main thing I'm focusing on right now is just getting into that load position a little bit earlier to be able to see the ball. So like everyone always talks about, whenever you're struggling, shorten up, load slower, do everything like that. And that's basically what I'm trying to do. Because like I said earlier, my swing is my swing, and I don't necessarily like every bit of it, but that's my swing, and that's what feels comfortable with me. So then we're not going to change, the actual swing part, but almost the pre-pitch stuff that you have to do.
Payton, I think that's absolutely amazing. And something that, I think needs to be harped on is like, for me, a lot of times it was like when I was late like that, you feel like you're ready on time, but then like feel versus real is so crazy. So like, it's almost like you have to be ready uncomfortably early. And it takes a lot of practice to start getting comfortable with that, but it will slow the game down. And I'm sure you experienced that. So beautiful stuff, Payton. I want to also drive home a little bit of, you've been hot and the team has been hot over these last 7 games. You're on current 6-game winning streak. What's kind of the vibe and the feel in the Ole Miss? Because I know that y'all's expectations is like World Series mentality. Take us through kind of the clubhouse vibe right now.
To be honest, we really haven't had much of a change from how we felt a couple weeks ago versus now whenever we're on a hot streak. We've always believed that we're a good team. We just weren't. We were a good team that wasn't playing well. It wasn't like we were a bad team that's just playing bad. I think we were a good team playing well. And so we just have to play like we're capable of playing and put all the pieces together. Because if you look at our last couple of losses, I mean, it is one pitch away from us winning the game or one hit away from us winning the game. It's not like we're looking absolutely terrible. We're just not putting it all together. And so recently we've just been able to do it on both sides the whole time, which is awesome.
So it's interesting. We all want to, when we're younger, go and do what you're getting to do. This is a baseball show. We're not talking to outsiders, right? So all the young athletes want to play in college. They want to know what it's like to go play at Hoover at the SEC tournament. Not when the SEC tournament's not there. Otherwise, it's an older ballpark. But they want to know what it's like to go to Tucson and play in a regional. So you did that last year. Obviously, COVID freshman, all you guys had to go, boom, you're there, shuts down. That had to be tough. But you did that last year, and you went and played in a regional. You didn't love the result in the end, but you had that pressure. You played in the SEC tournament. What does that look like from a player's eyes?
It was an unbelievable experience. And to be honest, if you were to tell me at a young age that I would be able to do what I'm doing now, I would think you're crazy. I have to give credit to really everybody that helped me out along the way in Hunter Pence Baseball Academy and everything like that. But it was a really, really cool experience. And yeah, we didn't like the results at the end, but it was something that I think a lot of us needed because a lot of the players that were there last year are still here today. And so we know what it's like and we know what we need to do to really make it to where we want to go, which is to win the whole thing, obviously. And it was super, super cool and something that I'll never forget, no doubt.
Well, was it hot, by the way, at High Corbett by the time you guys got out there?
You see, I'm also from Houston, Texas, so it's kind of hot there. I'm not going to lie. So I was used to it, and I love it. And I tell everybody I would rather play in 102 degrees versus 45 degrees. So that's just how I am. But no, I mean, no doubt it's hot. There's no way around it.
I totally respect that, understand it. As a pitcher, I'm not sure if I agree with it. I'd rather have it be 45, but I'm married to a lovely Latin lady who makes it clear, give me the heat anytime over the cold.
Yeah.
And I respect it. You mentioned kind of the development of Sean Danielson as your coach and the Hunter Pence Baseball Academy. We could go through the whole story, but that's a separate podcast for Hunter and I to do on why he lended his name and why he's had such an impact. But I'd love to know your perspective. It's not lost on me that here you two guys sit. His name is on that group. Sean and the leaders have done such a great job. But take us back through the experiences, the journey, how you grew with Hunter Pence.
Yeah. For anybody that's ever asked me, like, how did I get here or who really helped me, I always point to those guys. It was unbelievable. I believe I joined when I was 11 years old or maybe 10, somewhere around that age. And I had just gotten cut from my team recently. I was a guy that I tell everybody, my coach before Hunter Pence, the team that I was on before, would make me bunt every single time because I could not hit. It was basically like, almost a free out. I was good defensively, but I could not hit at all. And so I tried out for Hunter Pence, and luckily I made it, and it was really cool. But it was a struggle just from the beginning for my coaches to get me to swing. Like, I had the 3-0 green light every time just so I could get back to swinging. And they've helped me out a ton, just every single aspect of baseball, from the mental side to the physical side. It has been unbelievable. It's a great program.
That's very kind of you to say, Payton. And I got to give all of this credit to Sean. And there's a reason that I lended my name to Sean Danielson, because I know how much he cares about the kids, how much he loves the game. And it's a bigger goal than just winning games for Hunter Pence Baseball. It's about teaching leadership, teaching energy, teaching playing with heart and passion and having fun and being yourself. And Sean is just one of the greatest humans I've ever met. And we played together since we were 8 years old. So it's just we have that deep, long connection. So thank you for saying that about Sean and the Hunter Pence experience. But I got to say, when I watch you take the field, it gives me chills, Payton. And when I watch how you play, it just is insane. You bring so much energy and passion and speed, and you just got all these celebrations and you light up your teammates. Talk to me a little bit about, is that intentional? Is that natural? What is Payton when the mindset when you take the field?
Yeah, so for me, I've never been the biggest, never been the strongest, never the fastest, anything like that. So I try to ask myself, what is going to kind of help me separate myself from everybody else? If people can hit harder than me and throw harder than me and whatever else, I've got to bring something else to the table. So I use my inner ADD and energy to really, kind of express myself. And it is authentic, and I truly love this game, and I love playing, and I hope I get to play forever. So I try to get out there and be the best teammate I can and bring all the energy, because baseball is a super contagious game. And I think if even if I'm not playing well, my role on the team is more than just a second baseman. My role on the team is more than just, wherever I'm hitting in the lineup. It's more about, the actual team itself and how can I help out everybody else. And I think if you help enough people out along the way, you'll eventually help yourself out. So I try to just do more than just be a good second baseman.
And Payton, I can't attest to that enough, that you have to have those glue guys. You have to have, someone that's man, I'm pumped to be here. Man, I'm coming with it. I'm going to steal second, and I'm going to get to third, and I'm going to score. That was one of the coolest college plays we've ever seen. Obviously, that unfolded in its unique way. But I want to ask you, this is just a fun question for me, because obviously you're the speed-power combo right now with 8 home runs this year. But what does speed do, Payton?
Something I struggled with before was to ever try to even show that I'm going to bunt. It's something that I wasn't necessarily comfortable with doing once I got to college. So I've had to kind of work on, even if I'm not going to lay, a drag down, and I have a couple times this year, but that brings in the third baseman, especially into my game. I'm a pull heavy guy. So if I can get that third baseman in, it kind of helps free up the 6-hole a little bit and help me get a little bit more hits that way. So I try to use both of it to where you're not sure, what I'm going to do.
I love it. Boy, your relationships with the concept of bunting has been a tenuous one. It's been on again and off. That darn bunt, man. It's God bless you in the bunts. I love it. You wanted it. It was shoved
Deep
in your
pains.
life. Then it was get it out of your life. Now I want to put it back in my life. I love that. That's awesome, Payton. We're in the world of NIL, which I think is great, with athletes. And I noticed on your social, Cuts brand clothing. I've got to know a little bit more about how they found you. And let's rep them. Let's rep them right now. Tell me a little bit about them.
Yeah, it's a super cool company, and we had another kid on the team that was working with them before I was, and I thought it was super cool. And I was like, hey, how did you get that deal? I kind of, obviously I want that too. That would be really cool to just be able to wear the clothes, and I love the clothes itself. And so he luckily helped me reach out to somebody that works with Cuts, and we got in touch through Instagram. Let me tell you, Instagram with this whole NIL stuff has been amazing. It's where we pretty much talk, and as crazy as that sounds, I don't really use my email that much. It's basically all Instagram DMs. But it's been unbelievable. The whole NIL stuff I think is amazing, and everybody knows baseball and college baseball can be a little controversial at times when it comes to money and everything like that. But I think the NIL stuff has really helped out a lot of players. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's very cool. That's a cool answer. Before, Hunter may have one or two more, not sure. But before I say goodbye to you, thank you for being with us. Just tell me anecdotally a story about Michelle and Dennis. Those are your parents, and you're not here without them. The sacrifices to pay for travel ball, the plane tickets, to pay for whatever the fees were at the HPA, all that stuff. That's parents sacrificing. Tell me about them.
No, yeah, no doubt. I have so much respect for my parents and everything they've done for me. I mean, my mom, for a while, she's in
principal, right?
She's in education, yes, sir. She's an assistant principal. And for a while, especially with we had a couple things going on with the family. I mean, she was literally working the front desk at Hunter Pence Baseball Academy just to kind of help me out. And so she was working 2 jobs at one point, and she would get off after school and then go work at Hunter Pence until 9 o'clock whenever we'd close. And it's been unbelievable. They've been nothing but great parents, and I can't thank them enough.
All right, Payton, that's amazing stuff. I got to ask you, though, because obviously, you strike me as someone that's going to have a good story in this department. But being a teammate, being a glue guy, bringing the energy, pranks are like one of the most fun parts about being on a baseball team. What is the best prank you've seen to date?
Gosh, okay, so we got this. We have Kemp Alderman. He's
Oh, Kemp! I was thinking about Kemp. Continue. Stop. I'm sorry.
He's
Triggered.
Amazing.
Triggered. Got him.
Super gullible, but an amazing human being. We had just got super strong. Yeah, an unbelievable power. Something I've never seen. But anyways, we had just gotten our red cleats in, and he was complaining. And if you know Kemp, he's from Decatur, Mississippi, which probably has a population of like 12 people. And so he's talking, and he's like, man, my cleats are really hurting my feet, whatever. And we're like, Kemp, have you never slept in your cleats? Like, that's what you have to do. You sleep in your cleats, and it'll break it in. And so he comes back the next day, and nobody thought we were going to do it. Like, Garrett Wood, the kid that brought it up to Kemp, was asking everybody else, like, Payton, how many times have you slept in your cleats? And I'm like, yeah, I do it all the time. That's what I do every time I wear my cleats. And so he comes back the next day. We don't expect him to do it, but at the same time, it's Kemp, and he could definitely do it. So he comes back, and he's walking like he had, I don't even know. It was so funny. He was hurting. He was limping all over. I'm like, Kemp, what's going on? He's like, I wore my dang cleats so tight last night, I can barely walk. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, I wore my cleats to sleep. That's what y'all told me to do. I was like, oh my gosh. And he had like cleat marks all over himself. He's turning and scratching himself up. So it was so funny. Oh my gosh. But there's a lot of great stories. This team is unbelievable. And the connection we have within each other, it's a lot of fun.
Oh, Payton. Hunter, amazing question. Well done. Amazing question.
Jackpot. That was good stuff, Payton.
It's weird because I've known Kemp since he was in high school, just through this part of my job. Yeah. Was up at 5, working the land. A blue collar kid. Like, again, he could lift all 3 of us in this shot right now. Could throw 95 on the mound. Like, he's crazy freak athlete. I love it. He was in my head because he's kept it simple. It's hard work and I don't know why. I'm sorry I interrupted. Like, I was like thinking of Kemp when you guys started down the road. It was beautiful.
No, it's perfect. That reaction is exactly what we needed. What a story.
Oh, it's great.
That's the stuff.
So much better than. Oh, go ahead.
He's the definition of a country boy strength. It's, you could tell he worked on the farm before he got here. It's awesome. I love it.
We'll have him on, Hunter. You'll love him. We'll have him on for sure. Hey, Payton, thank you so much for your time. Thanks for being with us. We really appreciate it. Best of luck on your run to Omaha.
Well, thank you guys so much. And another shout out to Hunter Pence Baseball Academy. You guys are the reason I'm here, so I really appreciate it. Thank you, Hunter.
No, you earned it, Payton. You did it, and we're so proud of you. We're so pumped. I know my nephew Stryker, every time you do anything, is posting on his Instagram. We're following you. We love you, brother, and keep doing you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys.
And we want to thank Payton for joining us. Certainly, I love talking college baseball every week with just a passionate rising star in the content space, Hunter Pence. We want to thank you, college baseball fans. This is an incredible time of year as we head into conference tournaments and then postseason play and then Omaha. Every week, a brand new edition of Perfect Game College Baseball. Find it right here on Perfect Game TV. Peace.